It was certainly an event that really shocked the United States.
See the firemen assembled here, the police officers, FBI agents, and you can see the two towers. A huge explosion now, raining debris on all of us. We better get out of the way.
Thanks very much.
Completely collapsed.
The whole site has collapsed?
The whole building has collapsed.
Solidarity with our neighbors.
You know, a lot of people say you'll remember where you were on September 11th, 2001. But I think what we will remember most is the way we lived our lives before September 11th and how we're going to have to live our lives after.
I believe we all knew at that time that the world had changed and it would never be quite the same again. And it certainly gave North Americans an appreciation of life when disaster strikes, as it has been striking very frequently in the years since that time.
This includes, by the way, the first time a Canadian Minister of Foreign Affairs has visited Iran in almost a decade. And as an important regional country, Iran will be key as a major contributor to the effort to combat terrorism.
The Honourable Member for Lethbridge, I'm going to get to all.
And eventually came into the 2002 Alliance Leadership Contest supporting Stephen Harper from the earliest stages.
Is the government doing and is the Prime Minister doing to send the message that Canada is determined and will be counted and act with its allies?
Right Honourable Prime Minister. We have been working since a long time to make sure that the United Nations will give the message to Saddam Hussein.
Rick has always supported Stephen Harper. I know that Rick has a lot of respect for Mr. Harper.
And give grain farmers marketing choice, and this is something that we've brought up here. And
he's not part of the DRC. He wasn't one of the people causing the trouble. He kept quiet despite, I know multiple media attempts to have him speak. Yes.
And I think that reflects on what you can do as a backbench member of Parliament, both to be faithful in representing your constituents, but also ensuring that the interests of your part of Canada are reflected.
So, does this look like a group of people that should be put in jail, separated from their families?
We want to see some choice for Canadian farmers.
There was a major issue about bringing across bags of wheat or a truckload of wheat, and
I think we'll be all together, but it's not going to be very pleasant. We're going to be away from home,
and it's hard to believe in Canada that someone could be thrown in jail for carrying a bag of wheat or a truckload of wheat across the border, but in fact that's what happened.
I knew a lot of those farmers, and I'll stand with them anytime. And through my association with Mr. CASSON, that was the right thing for them to do at the time, and I know that the government will move in the right direction.
And he also was never one to turn away from his constituents. If his constituents had an issue, he would deal with it head on, and meeting protesters was just one of them.
I could have come to the 8th if that would have been better.
Always tried to find a resolution to a situation.
The most troublesome had to be BSE.
Bovine spongiform encephalopathy, which is known as BSE, mad cow disease.
A disease that devastated Britain turns up in Alberta.
Head on our program this hour, mad cow disease in Alberta.
We had significant inventories of cattle in our feedlots, worth $1 a pound one day, and within 2-3 weeks they were 25 to 35 cents a pound.
We put our officials together to...
I think Mr. Van Cleve looked towards Rick and this is where the beef were in Canada.
Certainly a very heated debate between the two countries, and RCAF in particular, who was trying to close the border to our Canadian beef.
An extremely political industry. Truths do not always get spoken. And RCAF really took advantage of a bunch of sensationalism. BSE is going to kill, lots of American people. Rick went down to Washington.
There's pressure being put on down in the States to get that border open. They need our beef.
And Rick worked very hard on that. keeping the border open.
We were told pretty point blankly that there's not a heck of a lot of communication and good feeling between Capitol Hill and Parliament Hill, and that is part of the problem.